Our weekly segment with the head football coach, the Alamogordo Tigers, AJ Cisco, here with us. Coach, how are you?
I'm good, Charles. How are you?
Fantastic. And hey, we're finally here to game day. It's kind of nice.
It's game week finally, man. It takes long enough, and we've been working about 3 months at this, but it's finally here.
Yeah.
There will be a football game played in Tiger Stadium on Friday night.
And I know the kids have got to be chomping at the bit at this point to finally get out there and play a game now.
Yeah, it's become monotonous, and we get into that routine of how things go, and we've been banging against each other for 3 weeks now, 3.5 weeks. It's time to go against somebody else and to make it meaningful. And so our kids are excited, and they're ready to put on a show on Friday night.
Well, and it seems like you've got a group that is really dedicated and it continues to work hard, and you're seeing the kind of things you want to out of those young men right now.
Absolutely. They never miss a day, and they're finding out the importance of being here and putting the work in. So I want to say we're up to 51 on our roster. With a couple kids who are still trying to get workouts made up, but we have 49 kids every day at practice in the morning, first period, whether it's 7 o'clock weight room or we're in the afternoon at 4 o'clock getting our practices, and they're all there. They're ready to go.
That's what we like to hear. The ones that want to be there and the ones that want to put in the work are out there. I do want to touch in on the scrimmage last week. We haven't had a chance to talk to you about that. Listen, we know Cruces is so incredibly good, and you knew that going into it. It was going to be a tough one for you guys. What do you feel like the team took out of that and has been able to take out of that scrimmage last week?
They figured out where this program that we have needs to be and how we're going to get there. Yeah. They understand they got to work a heck of a lot harder, and we got to get tougher. And what the kind of things that we got from that scrimmage aren't necessarily football-wise, it's toughness-wise. Yeah. We've got to match that level of physicality and toughness because we have enough skilled kids in the future and right now that we can do what Cruces High can do. And Cruces High, take none away, those guys are good. And they got a chance to win a state championship 6A and play a long time in November. So it was good for our kids. I immediately told our kids we're going to do it again next year. And we're not going to shy away from challenges. The bigger the better. Let's take them all on. We're going to find out where we stack up against those big dogs. And we're eventually going to be the big dog.
Yeah, and that's the way that I think that's the attitude that you got to have. I mean, I know it's tougher for us as a school because we're smaller than say the Rio Rancho schools or even some of the Cruces schools, but this is the hand that you're dealt, and you just got to kind of go out there and work hard and make it happen. Is that the way you look at it?
We don't tell our kids we don't make excuses about anything. Yeah. If they say we're going to go play the New York Giants, we're going to go play the New York Giants and strap it up and go and do what we do. So, and you've had that scrimmage, and there's some positive things that we got from our young kids and even our older kids. We find positives. You leave the scrimmage, and you might have a bad taste in your mouth, and we're all kind of disgusted in how things went and how it didn't go the way we wanted. Well, immediately we start watching film the next morning, and we had our kids back in the weight room at 7 o'clock, and every one of them was there at 7 a.m. We start watching film, and you start seeing a lot of positives that we may not have seen at that moment in time. And so there were some positive things to take out of that. But our kids understand. I said, we're not making an excuse about anything. Whoever we got, it's who we got, and that's what we're going to go up against. And so our kids are excited. They understand that challenge, and they're excited for the next 10 weeks that we got. And they're focused right now on Valencia on Friday night.
Well, let's talk about this year's team a little bit, and we've kind of chatted about it in some of our previous interviews, but it's kind of a preview for the season. Let's start off with quarterback. Obviously, it's a new name there with Tom Turnbull in. What have you seen that you liked out of him, and the confidence that you have in him going into the season?
He's a triple option type kid, and he can run, he can throw it quicker than hell. He's got to get him a little more confidence in reading the triple option, but he's starting to understand it, and you can see him grow week to week how much he gets better at it. We started implementing this no-huddle stuff, and he's kind of the captain of it with the signals, and he understands it, and he's the go-to guy, and he makes everything go. With that, we've already started developing other kids that if something were to happen, we got to have some backup plans ready to go. But he's a great kid. He's taking the challenge on, and we're looking for a lot of good things from him, and we're excited about what he can do for our offense and make it multidimensional.
Well, let's also talk about some of the runners that you're going to have in there. Obviously, in a triple option, you're going to run the ball a fair amount, maybe more than you pass it in there.
Yeah, we'll actually mention our fullback. We have a couple fullbacks. Sean Ramey, Andy Trujillo, and John Treat are all fullbacks, which you'll see them get carries in the triple option.
Yep.
Tailbacks are Julio Mendoza and Braden Martin, and all those kids can roll. I mean, heck, there's times we might put Julio or Braden down as fullback and let them be the dive back on the veer, and you'll see when we get in gun and pistol, we do all these different things. So everybody ends up touching it a whole bunch of different times and different directions, and it's all window dressed to make it look different. So we're excited for the athletes we got and the kids that are buying into this triple option. They're understanding, like, hey, I might get it, I might not, but this is going to be fun.
Yeah, and regardless of what you do, you're part of the play. Even if you don't get the football, whether it's misdirection or something, they've all got a role to play out there, right?
Absolutely. They understand that if the quarterback pulls it, they better go find somebody to block or they're about to get tackled, and that's okay. We're going to make the game 11 on 10 or 11 on 9, whatever we can do to put the numbers in our favor.
Yeah. Another part about it, you just talked about that, it sounds like this is going to be a little bit more of a hurry-up offense? Because, I mean, I think triple option, I think ball control, a little bit slow it down. You want up-tempo, it sounds like.
We do, but at starting out and getting our kids used to it, it will go slow.
Okay.
We will milk a play clock down. Once our kids get the hang of it and we understand all the different formations, we can get into about 20, 25 formations a game. Once we understand and have more confidence in what we're doing, we'll pick up the tempo. On Friday night, you'll see us go pretty slow, methodical. We'll make freeze calls. We'll check stuff on the line of scrimmage, but everything will be line up. Let's see what the defense gives us and make a call. We're just trying to put our kids in the best position to be successful.
How about your wideouts this year?
We got a few. We got a kid, Deshaun Sanchez, Brandon Bedgood, William Gill, and Dylan Collins. 4 kids that'll see reps out there. They've bought into the philosophy. You get the ball thrown to you if you can block. If you can block, we reward you. If you can't block, we ain't throwing it to you.
Yeah.
And they understand that when we throw the ball, we're going to take some shots and we're going to take chances down the field. So we're not going to nickel and dime people, and they have to earn their worth, and they're going to have to get it. And they learn how to stock block, and hell, they're just like another guard half the time.
Yeah. Well, speaking of guards, speaking of the offensive line and blockers, in a triple option, that's obviously such a huge part, and there's a lot of different blocking schemes, I think, that go in there. Talk about your offensive line a little bit this year.
We're continuing to get better.
Yeah.
We're probably not as big as Alamogordo's been in a long time. We're going to be rather small, but which is okay for us. We don't have to. We got to be kids that can move and pull and get up to the second level on backers. So we've got a rotation of 6-7 kids that'll go through there. Everything starts with our upper class. We got Aaron Roush, who's a returner, and Casey Myers are 2 senior tackles who kind of spearhead it all, and they're understanding the scheme, and they're understanding the toughness we got to bring. And that was the best thing about playing Cruces, is our kids got to see a physical offensive line and figure out what it was.
Yeah.
And so they kind of control the whole thing. And then we're in 2 tight ends. We got 2 tight ends that we can go, and we got a new transfer kid coming in, along with Talon Whiteside, that we can get in 2 tight ends, which I love because we can balance up defenses. We kind of like to dictate what the defense can do, and we do that by formation. So we spend a lot of time trying to come up with these different things, but everything runs off those 5, 6, 7 guys up front, and then we put 2 tight ends. Now we're at 8 guys. We love it. So
yeah.
we want to load it up, and we're going to try to pack people in phone booths and find out who's tougher.
All right. Well, we'll certainly look forward to seeing what that group can do this year. Defensive side of things, new defense this year, obviously, for this team. You guys running the 50. Let's talk defensive line. Who are you expecting to be important for you guys this year?
A lot of guys. A lot of those guys are playing offensive line. I got to turn over and play defensive line.
Yeah.
We've got some young kids that are sophomores, and we're even finding kids that were maybe in another position last year that we're moving down to a defensive lineman. Our defensive linemen aren't necessarily 300-pound kids that just take up space. We got to have kids that can run, are physical, and get off the football. So every one of our linemen will rotate. We like to, if they're going to rest, they're going to rest on defense. We can have a rotation of 8 guys going Friday night with our TNT. Linebacker-wise, we've got 3 linebackers. 2 of them are seniors, John Treat, Casey Myers, and junior Andy Trujillo. And all 3 of those are varsity guys that have experience. So linebacker core inside, we're pretty good. We're excited. Heck, we might have the 2 smallest linebackers in the state, but they might be the fastest, and they dang sure might be the toughest.
I say they can hit. We saw that last year. Those are 2 kids that can really hit.
And then everything's predicated with those 2 guys. We try to make sure that they're clean every time, and they can scrape, run the football, make all the tackles. That's our philosophy. Our best defense players are going to be linebackers, go tackle.
Yeah. And how about your secondary? What are you looking at this season?
Secondary, we got some safeties. You take our safeties, and depending on what we play and who we play, and if they're a spread team or if they're a physical pound the ball team, we'll change up coverages. For the most part, our safety's got to be extra linebackers, and they're basically a hybrid come-down tackle on the line of scrimmage. So you take a kid like Braden Martin. We've got a sophomore named Mitchell Lester who can run. But we can't do anything with our safeties unless we can make sure we play man on the outside. So we got to have some kids on the outside that can shut it down, are pretty good athletes, and lock it down and make it 9-on-9. And now the odds are in our favor. So we definitely got to find some corners that'll do that, and we can put a lot of trust in.
Special teams, obviously a big bonus for you guys to have a kicker like Brett Money. I mean, he obviously is an extremely talented young man, and gives you some more options in terms of what you can do to get points up on the scoreboard, right?
Yeah, it's a lot more. It's an easier thing to do when it's 4th and 1 or 4th and 4 on your 35. You can just say kick it instead of saying, "Oh gosh, I don't want to risk it here." So, it is good having money on our team and not somebody else's. So I will tell you that. And with that, we do a lot of different things in our kicking game. We don't make it just a line up and kick it. We're going to take our chances, and we make sure teams have to practice against us. The way we get in 25 formations, we might come up with 3 different punt formations in a week and make teams adjust to it. If not, then we're going to take advantage of it and run a fake.
Yeah. Well, and I noticed that just in terms of, I think in the intra-squad scrimmage, maybe it's something else. You guys working on 2-point conversions and different formations, just lining up for an extra point. You're going to make the team.
Yeah,
the
just
opposing
for an extra
team.
point. We're going to line up in what we call swinging gate, and they got to line up too. If they don't, we'll take 2 points. We're going to make teams take time away from practice from what they want to do and cover stuff that we want them to have to do. And if they don't do it, then we'll take advantage of it. Oregon does it a lot. You'll see Oregon a lot of times their first touchdown line up swinging gate, and if nobody gives, they'll just take the 2 points and move on.
Yeah.
So we want to give teams a lot to work on. One of the reasons why we've been pretty good offensively over the past few years where I've been at is we throw a lot of formations. It's not different stuff for our kids. It's 25 different formations with motions and everything's window dress, and it's giving a lot of kids work on. And then they got to still try to figure out how to play the triple option.
Yeah, and that's triple option is one of those. Anytime I talk about it with coaches that were preparing for it, it was kids have to know their assignments, and you're really putting a lot of pressure on the individual player knowing what they need to do. Is that kind of the way that you look at it?
Yeah, as soon as a 17-year-old kid is not disciplined and does the wrong thing, the option is going to break for a big one, and you might see the option get 3 yards here, 3 yards here, 2 yards there, and all of a sudden you pop one for 60. And it's just based on we're forcing those other kids that are 16, 17-year-old teenagers to remain disciplined for 48 minutes. And as soon as they don't, we got a chance to make a big play.
Yeah, it's definitely a big part of it. Brett, going to be punting for you guys this year too? Or?
Absolutely, man. You watch him go out there, he can kick it and boom, and a little bit. I said, man, that's pretty good.
So he's got all the kicking duties taken care of for you guys.
He is the man. We are in trouble if he goes down. I will tell you that. I told him we're going to have to go bring up his little brother.
There you go.
Find another money.
Well, I tell you right now, for what Alamogordo kicking was before Brett got in, it was an adventure every extra point. So I can't tell you how nice it is to have that. You know, not that I need to tell you. You know for sure. I do want to mention this as well. Your coaching staff this year. I think we may have chatted about it a little bit before, but let's talk a little bit about the guys that have really been helping you out this year on the offensive end, and who's been you're on your assistant side of things for coaching for you.
One of the things we did is all our coaches have to coach both sides of the football.
Okay.
So they have an offensive position and defensive position. They don't get to specialize in one. So with our TNT and our offensive linemen, we have Julian Gonzalez and John Madden, and so they're coaching both, and they'll both be JV coaches, both varsity coaches. All our guys will coach every JV game. So if we have a JV game where our JVs play Artesia on Saturday in the bowl, we're sending 5 coaches down there. So we'll still get our work done with our older guys that aren't traveling, with myself and Coach Cisco. But we're going to go coach every JV game. And when we have a JV home game, all 7 of our coaches will be at that game coaching. It's not going to be let's turn them loose. So we want to make sure our kids are taken care of. Our defense coordinator is Coach Cisco.
Yeah.
He's still working a lot harder. He works his tail off, man. I think he enjoys coaching now more than he did before because he doesn't have to wear all the other stuff now.
Yeah.
So he actually gets to go back to being a coach and coaching positions and doing that. We got Art Lopez out there who's been around for a long time, very knowledgeable. Paul Wilkie's coaching receivers and outside linebackers with Coach Lopez. Kyle Haney's our running back coach and inside linebacker coach. And we take care of it all. And then we have our freshman coaches. And our freshman coaches are responsible on Friday nights to be at a varsity game. They're going to have a job duty. Whether it's chart and whether it's on a headset, they're going to have job duties. Billy Hayes, Sam Fambro, and Philip Tribble are all coach freshmen. And I only see those guys for 10 minutes a day, man. My freshman coaches are gone. I have other people come up tell me how they can see the freshman practices are going, and those guys are doing a great job. So I feel better knowing that I've got those 3 guys coaching our freshmen and doing a great job trying to turn this program around.
Well, and something else worth mentioning is you've got really nice numbers. And with just the freshman class, you got a lot of kids that came out this year.
Yeah, we're up to, I want to say 41 is on our freshman roster right now. Now, our goal is to try to turn over 35 of them to make sure they're sophomores. If we can do that, so anywhere between, we have around 90 kids in our football program freshmen up. We'll graduate 7 or 8 seniors, and if we can turn around 35, we're over 100. And now those are the numbers we need to be at and we remain consistently at. Talking to my junior high coaches yesterday and this morning, Mountain View has 67 kids playing football. Chaparral has 63.
That's great.
So the numbers are going to continue to grow, especially with the expansion of the base and the new squadron stuff coming in. So it's a real exciting time to be a football coach at Alamogordo High School. It's a real exciting time to be a fan of Alamogordo football because it's going to continue to get bigger and better.
Now, you mentioned Holloman Air Force Base, and this Friday night is Military Appreciation Night with folks. If you're wearing your military uniform, you get in for free. If you have your military ID, you get in for free. But, it's something, as a part of this community, and I know, Coach Cisco, you're a new part of this community, but I'm sure you found out very quickly that, how much the base is a part of everything that we do here.
Yeah, I was told, and you don't realize it as an outsider until you get in, of how important Holloman is to the survival of this community. So And then, especially with the expansion of it, and the new squadrons, the people that are coming in, and there's constantly new kids registering at the school. And heck, I was told we got a new freshman football player coming in. So we're excited for all these changes that are coming. And at the same time, our administration has done a great job with this military appreciation on Friday night. And it's exciting to be able to do something and give back to the men and women who have done so much for our country and give us the opportunity to play on a Friday night. And it's great to honor them. And we're going to do something special with our uniforms. And try to honor them as well that nobody knows about. So our kids are going to find out tomorrow when we make them have to do this. But we're excited about it, and I hope the community comes out and welcomes and goes to the tailgate and sees all the great things that are taking place on a Friday night and welcomes it. It's a change. We are raising the standard of Tiger football in this community, and we want to raise the standard of everything, just Tiger athletics in this community.
Well, it's an opportunity for all of us to get together. I always say with anything that's high school sports, it's an opportunity for the community to come out and meet people and just be one together and have a great time on a Friday night, whether it's football or a Tuesday on soccer. It can be a special thing if we make it that way in this community. I know that's something that you and everybody in the football program wants to do.
Yeah, this town needs to shut down on a Friday night, but not just for football. It needs to shut down and go watch a soccer game last night against Lovington. It needs to shut down for the next volleyball game. We need to find ways to build the athletic programs here in the high school, and it's community involvement, and it's community embracing what our administration and what these coaches and all these other programs have done in trying to raise the standard and take this town and this school and put it on another level in this state that is envious, that where every other community is envious of us. And we have that opportunity, and our administration has done a good job of putting the right people in place to do that. So we're definitely excited about the changes that are happening in Tiger athletics.
And if anything else, come out and support the youth of our county. They're going to feel it. They're going to appreciate every little bit of it when they see all those fans in the stands.
Yeah, I tell our kids every night, I said, what can you not be excited about? There's going to be 5,000 people here on Friday night, not for me, to see you.
Yeah.
I mean, that's pretty special. I said there's not a whole lot of places in this state that can offer that kind of spectatorship and loyalty. So our kids are embracing it, and we're excited for the task at hand on Friday night, and we're excited to see if we can do something positive for this community, make this community proud of us for all the work we put in over the last 4 or 5 months. It's been a long time.
All right. Real quickly, just before we let you out of here, Valencia, in terms of you had a chance to do any scouting in terms of them and get a look at them at all? Or
Yeah, we have one scrimmage. Their scrimmage against Farmington. And so our coaches, we put in 5 hours on Sunday with one film. So I told our coaches, imagine what's going to happen when we got 4 or 5 films to watch. So we were there for 5 hours working, breaking down a scrimmage and coming up with a game plan. And it's good. They're a different style of offense from us. It's much more wing tee oriented. But they're going to run smash mouth football. Heck, this game could be over in 45 minutes if neither of us throw it. So it's exciting. They're going to be very physical, and our kids are up to the task at hand, I hope, of matching that physicality. We're definitely going to try to do some different things and be a little more explosive offensively, but they're coached very well. Their coaches do a good job. Their kids will play their tails off. It's a good task for us. It's a good challenge for us in trying to turn this place around.
Yep, good season opening game, and we will see what happens. Coach, I appreciate the time today.
Hey, anytime, man. Appreciate it. Thank you.